This mini lecture is designed to give you a brief introduction into the world of plankton. When we were on the boat trip, a plankton net was deployed over the side of the boat in order to catch some plankton. As you can see, the net is dragged behind the boat near the surface. This is called a half-meter plankton net, meaning that it is lowered roughly half a meter into the water to collect samples. This image shows what the net looks like when it's deployed. At the front of the net is an opening made of rigid plastic. This allows for the net to remain open when being dragged through the water. The mesh is the size of the openings of the hole. In this case, we were using a 0.505 millimeter mesh. Mesh refers to the size of the openings in the net. So anything larger than 0.505 millimeters would be trapped inside the net, and anything smaller than that would pass through it. All the plankton is collected into the net and then funneled into this PVC cylinder at the back. At the end of the tow, the net is retrieved and the sample is put into a glass jar to take back to the lab to look to see what we got. So what did we collect? This is the most common plankton that we find on our trips. It is called a copepod. It's a type of zooplankton, meaning that it's an animal. And if you notice, the size of it is 5 millimeters, which is way bigger than the mesh size of the net. Here's another picture of all the copepods we usually collect on boat trip, and another picture. We find other planktons too. This is a phytoplankton called Serratium. It's a dinoflagellate, and part of its little antenna up here is missing. This is another type of plankton. It is a zooplankton, and many organisms spend a part of their life cycle as plankton. And in this case, the bryozoan Siphonates does just this. So these are two pictures of Siphonates bryozoan larva. This may look like a spider, but it's actually a crustacean larva. We weren't able to identify what type of crustacean, but it's probably a crab. This is another crustacean larva and more copepods. We find lots and lots of eggs. Some marine organisms release their eggs out into the water, and others hide them under shells or in rocks. And here's another planktonic egg and another copepod. We also collect diatoms. So the green that you see in each one of these images is chlorophyll, and that helps you identify that it is indeed a phytoplankton. We get other types of phytoplankton as well. In the lab that you're going to be doing today, you're going to be looking at data for two organisms. The first is Pseudonycheza, and the other is Alexandrium. These two are known for releasing toxins into the water, which can create harmful algal blooms. Jellyfish are also considered plankton. Plankton are floaters. They cannot swim independently, and they are at the mercy of the currents. These are images taken from the aquarium of the Pacific. This is a comb jelly. It's roughly the size of a quarter. These are umbrella jelly, which are also roughly the size of a quarter. And these are moon jellies, and they can range from being very, very, very tiny all the way up to maybe the size of a dinner plate. The last image I'm going to show to you is what looks like just an empty patch of water. If you look very closely, you can see some little things wiggling in there. The microscope that I use isn't strong enough to see what those little wiggly things are, but there are even smaller plankton in the water than the ones that we can observe with 10x magnification.